Hey there, Gemini. Welcome to your reading for the week of January 30th. We're going to jump right in here, Gemini. And in your current general energies, you have this power and seduction card. We had Jupiter in Pisces. Jupiter is now in Aries, but this card right here is Jupiter in Pisces. So, it kind of makes sense that there could be love coming in for you. And sorry, this deck is upside down apparently. But, what I would say is there clearly could be someone in a powerful position coming in for you in love. And I feel like it'll make you very happy. Definitely could be a fire sign with this right here. So it could be a Leo, but it could be any fire sign I'm getting. Yeah, look at this. Definitely love, and definitely could be a fire sign, for sure. If it's not a fire sign, I would say that this person has, like, major fire placements, like fire rising, fire moon, fire Venus, or Jupiter, or something like that. Jupiter and Venus definitely kind of have a lot to do with love in astrology. Jupiter is your husband if you want a husband. Venus can be your wife if you want a wife, but Venus can also just be love in general. And look at this. This reading is all about love. Every single person has had the Tower, and so far, and I've done almost, how many have I done? 8. You are number 8 today. And so everybody's had the Tower, and so that doesn't really surprise me. And like everybody has had it in the area of the unexpected. This really tells me that there could be like a global Tower moment as usual, which again, this is going to keep happening for the next 20 years at least. So again, you have the seduction and power card. Again, I do feel like some of you could be being seduced by a powerful person. And even if you don't want love, and even if you do, I feel like some of you could be being seduced by an idea. Here's the thing. Is that for whatever reason, this top row here, I'm seeing as a journey. You also have the Knight of Wands as well, which could be a journey. And this is kind of like popping into my head very clearly that some of you could be taking your life in a new direction. Like maybe you discover that you're interested in a new career direction, or maybe you see that there could be something that's more fulfilling in your life, right? But I feel like it's a little bit of a journey. And again, this is not something that you should feel discouraged about. I feel like the Hermit is just saying that, like, maybe you have to go through training, or maybe you'd have to go back to school, or just maybe, like, if you have something new that's really going to be fulfilling for you, maybe it's just going to take a couple of years to get going or whatever. But again, I think it'll be worth it to do that. Again, I keep encouraging people to follow their heart right now, because with Pluto going into Aquarius, again, it's like the most important thing we're dealing with. Pluto's generational, and also not only that, Pluto's been in Capricorn. It still isn't Capricorn until March, but it's as close to Earth as it can get. It's on its way out. It's on its way, Pluto basically has an elliptical orbit, so it's about to leave and start going as far away as it can get. It obviously will all be dead before it reaches its farthest point, but the point being is it's like, this is like a critical time, I really believe, for most people. Again, if we're following our heart, we're going to be very successful. If we're doing what society tells us to do, then we're not going to be as successful. So that's what I would say there. You have the 3 of Wands. Again, I feel for some of you, this is kind of like giving me shoot your shot vibes. So if you're looking for love, I do feel like if you're interested in a person, I feel like you need to make your approach, because maybe they don't know. If they're interested and you don't know, then obviously, I don't know, there's nothing you can do to make a person do something, but, I feel like this person could need to make their move. I also see a lot of expansion. Again, I've been encouraging people to kind of like, if you're feeling bored, if you're feeling restless and all those things, I feel like it's because there's like a lot of empty space right now. I feel like the world is like, we're all expanding, and there's like a lot of this empty space that I think needs to be filled with like our ideas, our goals, our wishes, our dreams, our creativity. So if you have anything that you want to create, I would do it, because there's all this empty space. And I don't really know how to describe like what I see in my head, but like what I see is it's like maybe you want to be successful in some sort of business or something, and you're thinking like, oh, there's a lot of competition, or I don't know what to do. It's like you don't know what to do because what you want to do hasn't been created yet. So I feel like this is saying you need to like start figuring out what your fulfillment is. That's what I'm getting on the 9 of Cups, is like maybe you don't even know what would fulfill you. It's like maybe you're thinking, oh, I want to start a YouTube channel, but maybe actually a blog would be more fulfilling. Maybe you're better at writing or whatever. But it's like if you don't get started, I feel this reading is saying you're not going to know what could truly fulfill you, or what could bring in happiness, joy, abundance, all those good things. Where is this going? With the Ace of Cups, you have the Fool. I just get this weird message as well, as far as love is concerned. For some of you, what I do feel like could be like a little bit surprising here is that you could get kind of like give a person a chance here Uh, Maybe you are kind of interested and you're not sure. I think what's surprising is that it leads to true love. I just get this very carefree feeling on the Fool, and this is not a bad thing, Gemini. This is a good thing. It's almost like you're just saying, like, oh, like maybe you meet a person, you're kind of interested, you're kind of not, but maybe you're kind of like, yeah, I'll just see what happens. And it's like you fall in love. I feel like that's what the Tower is. It doesn't even have to be a bad thing, right? Could be a pleasant surprise sometimes. And maybe it's like the person you marry, and it just like, maybe it's like one of those things where you wake up 20 years from now and you're just like, with this person, you're like, how the hell did that happen? Like, in a good way. So I don't know, for any of you looking for a cutesy love story, I would say go for it. There you go. With the Three of Wands, you have the Ten of Cups. Yep, fortune after difficulty, happiness, could be true love, of course. This is the card of happy home, happy family. But if you don't want love, again, I feel there's a very big focus on your fulfillment. Again, this card represents like your happily ever after. So maybe you're focused on career. This could say that you're, again, look, like I said on the Nine of Cups, I was getting something about kind of looking for your fulfillment. Like, what fulfills me? What makes me happy? What would I want to do for the rest of my life? Even if you're 90 years old, I don't care. You could still be looking for something fulfilling to do. So, I would, experiment, try new things. With the Nine of Cups, you have the Three of Wands again. Yeah, a lot of expansion at this time. And again, I do feel that pretty much everyone is in this holding pattern. Three of Wands is like, what are you waiting for? Three of Wands kind of represents needing to take a leap of faith. He's normally standing at the top of that hill, and he's looking out. It is a card of your ships coming in, but really it can be the ships going out as well. And that's what I feel here. You have too many cards of adventure. Knight of Wands mostly, Page of Wands, also Knight of Swords. You have the Six of Wands as well, believe it or not. Six of Wands can represent adventure because he has been to war. He's like coming back from war and he's being cheered on, but he's been on some sort of adventure. So, I feel like for a lot of you, this is saying like, get out there. Next in the area of messages from your future self, you have this coyote spirit. It says, trust in divine detours. Again, I feel like for those of you that want love, there's a divine detour coming in. And again, it could just be like a person who sweeps you off your feet, and maybe your life direction completely changes. But, again, it feels fun to me. It feels like an adventure. It doesn't feel like try hard. It doesn't feel difficult or any of that stuff. It feels like, wow, like, this is easy. Not that relationships are easy, but, and not that this won't require work, but just like it has a certain flow to it. For others, I feel like you could just maybe have, again, I get this career thing where it's like maybe you have a career already, maybe you have a business already, but maybe you're just not in love with it. And I feel like the detour is that you're going to something else. You have the Sun, the Page of Cups, and the Knight of Wands. You're definitely looking for fulfillment, like I said. The Sun is a card of happiness and joy, but it's also a card of fulfillment. It's also a card where you can feel free, where you can feel like you have a certain level of freedom in life. You don't feel like you're stuck. And this is probably what you're looking for. You also have the Page of Cups. Like I said, this could be that love, but he has that fish in that cup. And that fish kind of represents a dream, something he is dreaming about, something that he maybe wants to have in his life. I always say with the Page of Cups, he needs to bring that dream down to earth. He needs to put the action in so that he can be successful. And here's the action. Right here is the Knight of Wands. Again, this could be a fire sign coming in for you, but Knight of Wands, to me, it's a card of mystery. There are these three pyramids over here, which represent mystery, and he's very spontaneous. He doesn't need to know all the details. Again, he isn't stuck in the Three of Wands. The Three of Wands is a little bit stuck sometimes because, he might be waiting for the perfect moment. Knight of Wands, he just gets started. He just gets started on his journey, and he's willing to be spontaneous. He's like, whatever comes at him, he deals with it when he gets there, right? And I feel that if you could embrace that energy, that you will be very, very successful at this time, Gemini. So I feel like it's encouraging you to be willing to be spontaneous. Let's see. With the Sun, you have the Three of Swords here. I feel like some of you are healing, really, and I feel this is encouraging you to heal as well if you haven't, from like a past heartbreak or whatever, because, healing could be the thing that brings new love in. With the Page of Cups, you have the World. Yes, definitely major accomplishments coming in for you. So I feel like you are kind of reaching some sort of accomplishment. I also feel things are coming full circle with the World card is what I'm getting. Like, maybe you're connecting all these dots from your life, and that's like probably the thing where you're like, oh my God, I know what I want to do now. Or, oh my God, I see like what I should be doing in work or business or career. It's like you are kind of like having that realization, and that's kind of what I get here. With the Knight of Wands, you have the Hangman. Yeah, Hangman is like, what are you waiting for? Again, he has everything he needs. Normally his head is glowing on the Hangman card. I do feel like a new perspective would be very beneficial for you as well, like anywhere in your life where you're stuck. I feel like kind of changing perspective or, looking at it from the right way would be a good idea, especially with 3 wands twice. That's like perfection. So it's like if you're trying to start a YouTube channel or start a business or start a relationship, I feel like needing to realize that you're not perfect and you never will be perfect, but you can learn how to get better, that maybe that's the perspective change that needs to happen here. And that's kind of what I feel. Next, in the area of the unexpected, you have this card that says, don't spend too much time in despair. Move through the emotions and release it. If you went through heartbreak or separation, I would definitely let it go. You also have this beauty card. It says, somehow your looks will increase your earning power. It also says, your inner world must match your outer world for things to change. Yes. So again, I am a big fan of matching energy, and if dressing a certain way, looking a certain way, if it increases your confidence, if it makes you feel better, I am all about it, right? I think that we should mimic success for sure. I'm a big fan of doing it. So, anything you can do to mimic success or to feel more successful, then I would do it in any area of your life. Clearly, it's going to work well for you. You have the Page of Wands, the Knight of Swords, and the Tower. Like I said, multiple people have had the Tower in the area of the unexpected. I feel like there could be an unexpected global Tower moment. We could see some sort of global Tower moment. Who the hell knows what? So that's what I'll say there. I have the word water popping into my head as well. Could be with water. I would be careful of water or leaks or something like that. It's popping into my head. But other than that, I don't really feel anything unexpected. You're like the third sign. Sometimes I feel, I label these rows, but as I always say, I don't try to make things fit. If it doesn't fit, it doesn't fit. So I don't really feel there's anything unexpected. What I do feel could be a little unexpected is that you could be receiving communication, or there could be rushing communication coming in from a person. Feels like a past person, past lover, past friend. Could be a family member you haven't talked to in a while. And I wouldn't, if someone comes with rushing communication, like if someone is coming at you this week and is like, you need to make a decision right now, or you need to do this right now. No, I would tell them to hold their horses, basically, because the Knight of Swords says, do not rush, do not feel pressured into a decision. I would also say no hasty decisions this week. Sometimes I think we're uncomfortable in life, in whatever area of life we're in, and we just want to get away from being uncomfortable, so we just make a decision. So like, I don't have any good examples, but it's like maybe we get into a relationship before we're healed from a past relationship, right? And I feel this is saying, don't just rush into something to avoid a feeling. You have that feeling card. I feel like it's saying it would be much, much better for your future mental health, your future health in general, just to kind of like process your emotions and not rush into anything. You also have the Page of Wands. Again, Page of Wands, a card of adventure. The whole entire reading is encouraging you to go on an adventure. As I said during those Pluto and Aquarius readings as well, I think that, I think that the universe in general is trying to get people to be more adventurous. Maybe not necessarily traveling, but in like trying new things, doing different things in life, trying, different techniques for business or whatever the case may be. With the Page of Wands, you have the Four of Wands. Could also be love coming in for you for sure. Definitely could be a fire sign. Four of Wands is a card of marriage. The other thing that I would say is that the Four of Wands is a card of freedom. And the Page of Wands, this could be saying that if you're feeling stuck, the best way to make yourself feel more free would be to go on some new adventures, to try different things in your life, to try new things in your life, like I just said. And, that'll probably be the best thing you could do. With the Knight of Swords, you have the Emperor. Could be an Aries coming in for some of you, but I really feel this is encouraging action. And again, if you have an Aries coming in that's like pressuring you to do things, no. I would say no. Hold your horses, back off. Whatever you need to say here, I would definitely do that. With the Tower, you have the Strength card. Yeah, I feel like you have the strength to get through this. And again, if there are any global Tower moments, I think that strength is going to be your best answer. Next, in the area of messages from your guides, you have this Not For You card. Could be a past situation. What's your next card here? You have this Unfinished Symphony. See, but here's the thing. I think that some of you in love especially could be dealing with a round situation, like a person who they think it's unfinished, but I feel like you're finished. So I would not, I would be careful of past people. I feel like it's not for you. Same thing with like work or career. I feel like you need to make a change. You shouldn't be holding on to something that is like dead, done, over with, and that you need to move on to something else. You have the Hermit, the Six of Wands, and the Lovers. Lovers is literally a card of being at a crossroads, having a choice to make. It's like your higher self is trying to guide you here. And, what I would say is I think that if you're thinking about changing direction in career or your relationship, maybe you see repeating numbers when you think about those things. Maybe there are other, signs and symbols that you consider signs and symbols that are guiding you in that direction. So I feel like you need to pick a new path. I also do feel there could be love coming in for you, of course. But there's like something keeping you two apart at the moment. And again, I'm not so sure what it is. I don't know. When we clarify, we'll find out. It could be jealousy, by the way. You have the Six of Wands here. And I don't think you're jealous or they're jealous, but it's like, I think you could be putting someone up on a pedestal or they're putting you up on a pedestal. So maybe that's the issue. And again, if it's you, if you are looking at someone as too good for you or whatever, especially a new person, then I would say, no, you're at the same level. And that's really what this is saying. I do feel like there are a lot of victories coming in for you here as well. I kind of feel like saying the hard part is over as well. He's gone to war, he's coming back from war, and he's being cheered on for being successful, for accomplishing something. This right here looks like the wreath that surrounds the world. So you have the world here. It's almost like you could be being celebrated or cheered on for accomplishing something that you accomplished. You have the Hermit here as well. Again, another card of having been through something. He's been through like a dark night of the soul. He's climbed to the top of the mountain here, and he's like shining his inner light. So I do feel like there are some like victories or there's success coming in for you with the Hermit. You've climbed to the top of the mountain. I feel like you've gained a lot of knowledge and wisdom. The thing is, he's being a little bit reserved. He's kind of got that. The star is in his lantern. He might need to let that star out. He might need to kind of, project it out into the world. And I kind of feel like some of you have something to share or that you could need to share. Let's see. With the Hermit, you have the Four of Cups. This is based off of past disappointment here, Gemini, is what this is. I think some of you are thinking about, like, not really starting over, but doing something again. Maybe you had a business failure in the past. Maybe you had a YouTube channel that failed in the past. Maybe you had a relationship. And I'm not saying you're going back to the past. I'm saying that you're starting something new. And you see how there's 3 cups pouring into 1 cup on this 4 cups? This is the White Sage Tarot, by the way. I think that you're kind of giving your all to one thing, but maybe you're kind of a little bit worried about getting started. I feel like this is actually, I wouldn't say guaranteeing success, but I feel like it's saying if you get moving, you will be successful. With the Six of Wands, you have the Knight of Swords. No rushing at this time. I would avoid jealous people as well. There could be some people who are trying to knock you off your high horse here. And again, I would just ignore it. No engaging in negativity. Again, Gemini, you had Mars retrograde in your sign. And I would say until the end of March, I would not, no feeding the trolls, no engaging trolls, no getting into fights, arguments in the home, no none of that stuff. I just see kind of rushing energy with this Knight of Swords. With the Lovers, you have the Ace of Pentacles. Yes, big new opportunity coming in for you with the Lovers. It's going to take your life in a different direction, which we've been talking about this whole entire time. Like, clearly there's some sort of divine detour with that coyote spirit that's taking your life in a direction you didn't think it would go. But I think it's going to lead to success. Pretty simple reading. Again, this could be like a relationship where maybe you quit your career, maybe and start a family with a person. And maybe you've always said, I'm not going to do that, right? So I really see you doing something that you kind of thought you didn't want, but it's like you're figuring out you actually want it. It could be the other way around as well. Maybe you thought you wanted a family, but you actually want a career. Maybe you say to yourself, oh, I would never start a business, but maybe now you're starting a business, right? It's like you're doing something you didn't think you would do. But I don't know, I think it's good. We're going to pull 3 yes/no question cards now here, Gemini. So feel free to pause this reading if you need time to think of your questions 1, 2, and 3. If you don't have any questions, that's fine too. I'm going to put all 3 together at the end like a personalish reading. So for question number 1, pause now if you haven't already. You have the 3 of Pentacles, hell yes, especially if you're working together with other people. Teamwork makes a dream work with the 3 of Pentacles. With question number 2, I would say yes. I feel like, especially if you're asking if you should start investing in a new situation, we're not talking about money here. We're talking about your time, effort, and energy. And for question number 3, I would say hell yes. Again, you have the Ace of Wands, very passionate new beginning. Again, putting it all together, I feel like this is saying once you start investing in a new beginning, you're going to be very successful. I also think there's a lot of people who want to help you. Again, Pluto and Aquarius, I would be doing everything I possibly could to be working with other people or to be benefiting other people as well. The Sun. Pluto in Aquarius is the star. The sun is the star, but Pluto, the sun is Leo, which is the opposite of Aquarius as well. But really, I think that we need to get as much positive attention as we can. But I also think we need to co-create with people. I've been talking about this for years because it's very important. People who work together with other people are going to be very successful. The people who don't are going to have a hard time. So, you could be learning to work together with other people. Six of Pentacles is about learning kind of like equal give and take. So if there are people who you work with who don't give back to you, getting rid of those people and only giving to people who give to you, right? And where you give to them, there's equal give and take, right? So that's what I see here. Very interesting. Love it. Thank you for being here, Gemini. Definitely watch your sun, moon, and rising for a full picture of what's going on for you at this time. But thank you, and definitely enjoy your week.